think you all remember this song from camping days, but it's called Come Be Here, My Friends. Come Be Here. So that's how it's going to start. And then we're going to go in the warmth of love, come be here. In the strength of hope, come be here. And with our thanks for life, come be here. If you can remember those, we'll help you along. You'll hear us as well. So, okay, Deb.
Come be here, my friends, come be here. Come be here, my friends, come be here. Come be here, my friends, come be here. Seeking peace, come be here. In the warmth of love, come be here. In the warmth of love, come be here. In the warmth of love, come be here. Seeking peace, come be here. In the strength of hope, come be here. In the strength of hope, come be here. In the strength of hope, come be here. Seeking peace, come be here. With our thanks for life, come be here. With our thanks for life, come be here. With our thanks for life, come be here. Finding joy, come be here.
Good morning. So, in the time we set aside for a land acknowledgement, today I'd like to tell you about a gas station. So, we're all treaty people. This is Treaty 6. In this part of Edmonton, in southern Edmonton, there's a reserve called Papas Chase Cree Nation. And over time, the city was just built on top of it. So that's a really important thing for Edmontonians to look into, Papas Chase First Nation and how we're on top of it. And one way to support that nation, that Cree Nation, is, I think, by buying from their gas station. So they have a Petro-Can, and that's a great place to put your money. I need gas, so whenever I'm down by the church, that's when I get my gas. So I'll tell you where it is. You know Calgary Trail and Gateway Boulevard? How when you're coming off of 23rd from here, there's like an island of businesses in the middle when the two one-ways split. That very first thing on that island is that Petro-Can. That's owned by Papas Chase Cree Nation. So it's Cree owned and run. And so I recommend getting your gas at that Petro-Can to support that Indigenous business. And also recommend you research Papas Chase Cree Nation and learn about their story about being here in what has become Edmonton. All right, that's our land acknowledgement for today.
All right, it's a time for all ages. So any age of person is welcome to come join us up at the carpet. We're going to read a great little book about a penguin who wants some space today. So if you want to see the photos, come on up here. We're going to test every parenting skill I have. Can I hold the mic and turn the pages at the same time? So anyone who's interested, little ones, big ones, people in between, you can come on up and join us here on the carpet for a time for all ages. Yeah. Hello, hello, welcome. You can come find a spot. All right. So this morning, we're reading a book called Cuddly Dudley. Now, this is a favorite from my childhood. The inscription in this copy is from my auntie in 1993, the year I was born. It was the first book I ever received. So we're going to read Cuddly Dudley today, which is the story of a small penguin who really needs some space. Dudley loved to play. He loved to play jumping, diving, and splashing. But most of all, Dudley loved to play all by himself. The trouble was, Dudley was such a lovely, cuddly penguin. And whenever his brothers and sisters found him on his own, they couldn't resist having a huddle and a waddle and a cuddle with him. "Go away," Dudley would say. "Leave me alone." "We can't," came the reply. "You're just too cuddly, Dudley." "I'm fed up with all your huddling and waddling and cuddling," said Dudley one day. "I'm going to find a place where I can play all by myself." He waddled and he toddled for many, many miles, until, quite by chance, he found a little wooden house that looked perfect for a penguin, and it seemed to be empty. "At last," said Dudley, "a house of my own, a place where I can jump around all day long without being disturbed." Just then came a rap-tap-tap at the little wooden door. "It's us," said two of Dudley's sisters. "We followed your waddle prints. Can we come in?" "No, you certainly can't," said Dudley. "I'm very busy, and I don't want to be disturbed, so please go away." And he shut the little wooden door and was alone once more. "At last," said Dudley, "a house all of my own, a place where I can splash around without being..." And just then there came a rap-tap-tap at the little wooden door. "It's us," said his brothers and sisters. "We followed your waddle prints. Can we come in and..." "No, you certainly can't," said Dudley. "I don't want to huddle and waddle and cuddle. So for the very last time, stop following me." He slammed the little wooden door and was alone once more. "At last," sighed Dudley, "a house of my own." Bang, bang, bang went the little wooden door. "That does it," Dudley said. "When I catch those penguins, I'll..." But it wasn't the penguins at the little wooden door. It was a great big man. "My word," said the great big man, "what an adorable penguin. Give me a cuddle," he cried, and chased Dudley all around the house and out into the snow. Dudley ran and escaped from the man. Then he decided to go back home. But which way was home? Crunch, 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 went Dudley, looking for some wattle prints to follow. But when night came, he was still alone and completely lost. And now, for the first time, Dudley was lonely. He climbed a hill to get a better view, and at the top he saw an enormous orange moon with hundreds of tiny, sparkling stars all huddled around. "Excuse me," said a penguin from the foot of the hill. "Have you finished being alone yet?" "We wondered. Well, now that you're back, if you wouldn't mind, whether we could... It's just that you're so... "Cuddly!" shouted Dudley, and he bounced down the hill as fast as he could. Then Dudley and all of his brothers and sisters had the best huddling, waddling, cuddling session they had ever had, until... "Give me a cuddle!" Thank you so much, everyone, for coming to read with us today. Now, Daisy and Ariane are taking a much-needed rest. So for little ones, you can be in here, you can be at the activity table at the back, or you can go and play in the nursery. For kiddos who are 11 and up, Wes is here running youth space today. So if that is your calling, you can follow Wes off for an activity as well.
And on this path, my eyes and ears are open wide. And on this path, my mind and soul are open wide. And on this path, my caring heart is open wide. Open wide, open wide, open wide. My heart is open wide. And on this path, my eyes and ears are open wide. And on this path, my mind and soul are open wide. And on this path, my caring heart is open wide, open wide, open wide, open wide. My heart is open wide.
You're going to see a few slides go by of various things happening in our community, and I want to remind everybody to take a look at the weekly messenger that comes out on Friday, and if you don't receive the messenger, let the church office know, and they'll add you to the mailing list. We do want to highlight a few of the church activities this week, however. So we welcome the community to join the community in the following ways. So there's our children's summer camp run by Ariane and Daisy, and that's August 11th through 15th from 9:30 to 12:30. So you still have about a month or so to prepare. So you may sign up your 5 to 11-year-old to discover how to be a superhero in today's world. We also want to highlight, as we do every year, Camp Dragonfly, and that's from August 22nd to 24th. And that is for campers between ages 6 and 13. And registration is still open, so please take advantage of that. And also a note that the camp is also continuing to look for volunteers to help through that effort. And then finally, we want to highlight the fall retreat. Well, that may not be up there yet, but anyway, I want you to know that there's going to be a fall retreat in September, and that's September 19th through the 21st. And that is an opportunity to connect with friends old and new. And I believe that's all we have today. So thank you.
This morning, we will hear from 3 different authors, poets, thinkers, individuals to help us understand what it means to be in solitude, how we can come to be fully present with ourselves. I'll share with you first words from early thinkers in the first century, from Matthew 14:22-23. Jesus insisted that the disciples get into the boat and precede him to the other side. And having sent the crowds away, he went up on the mountain by himself to pray, remaining there alone as night fell. This middle piece is from an author, James Hollis. The book is called The Middle Passage, From Misery to Meaning in Midlife. And that's what we've based the whole 3 weeks on. So you feel ready now, you know what we're doing and where we're going. So I want to share with you some of his words from a chapter called On the High Seas and Alone. Ritualizing fear. People so fear loneliness that they will cling to terrible relationships and constricting professions rather than risk the consequences of letting go of the other. And in the end, there is no substitute for the courage necessary to confront loneliness. But we will never hear that inner voice unless we risk solitude. For some, it helps to devise a daily ritual of private meaning, which one obliges to sit quietly with no phone, no children, nothing, and listen to the silence. Such a ritual may at first seem strained and artificial, but sticking with it will allow the silence to speak. When we are not lonely in being alone, then we have achieved solitude. Fear keeps us from this essential meeting with ourselves. And the purpose of a ritual is to link a person to the greater rhythms of life. As they are passed from generation to generation, rituals become routine and lose their original power. So, all the more reason, then, for the individual to generate a ritual of personal significance, investing it with the same energy previously given to other relationships. The goal is to still the traffic of the mind, the neurotic clutter which floods and distracts. If we are afraid of being alone, afraid of silence, then we can never really be present to ourselves. Self-alienation is very much the condition of the modern world, and it can only be changed by individual action. So, some part of every day it is good to risk radical presence to oneself, to follow a quiet ritual of disengagement from the traffic out there and the traffic in here. When the silence speaks, one has gained companionship with oneself, moved from loneliness to solitude. This is a necessary prerequisite for individuation. And I share with you finally these words from poet and fan favorite around here, Mary Oliver. How I go into the woods. Ordinarily, I go into the woods alone, with not a single friend, for they are all smilers and talkers, and therefore unsuitable. I don't really want to be witnessed talking to the catbirds, or hugging the old black oak tree. I have my ways of praying, as you, no doubt, have yours. Besides, when I am alone, I can become invisible. I can sit on top of a dune as motionless as the uprise of weeds, until the foxes run by unconcerned. I can hear the almost unhearable sound of the roses singing. If you have ever gone to the woods with me, I must love you very much. From these words, may we find wisdom for our living.
All right. Solitude, it's back. We're so pleased we get to do 3 weeks with you, so you can plan accordingly to be free or busy, as you wish. We're very pleased to be here. All right, so you've heard Cuddly Dudley, and you've heard 3 other bits about solitude, so here we go. Spending time in positive solitude is incredibly important to me. Not in loneliness, no, but in solitude. And here's a good definition I found. That sense of oneness with oneself that we call solitude. Climbing trees as a kid, thinking profound thoughts as a teen at the swimming pool. In solitude, I could think clearly and breathe fully. I took bath after bath after bath alone with my stunned grief after my mom died. I am a very clean griever. I can find peace through solitude. And we all know the relief of being alone in our parked car, perfect for bitter cries or angry shouts. Yes, could we really fully feel if not for solitude? Really let those emotions out, right down to their very bottom? Feeling our feelings. Solitude is one necessary ingredient for moving through the lows of life. And it's helpful for the highs, too. Surely many of your strokes of insight came to you when alone. And it seems all wisdom traditions model that great inspiration comes from contemplation in solitude. The stories tell that it was Muhammad on the mountain alone. Jesus 40 days and nights in the desert alone. The prince about to become Buddha under the Bodhi tree alone. And Neheo Cree youth becoming adults here on this land during their rite of passage alone. Anchoresses, monks, Thoreau in his wee little cabin, etc., etc. So much time in solitude. To know yourself, to find out what you think, what you really think, what you really feel, what choice you really want to make, you need to be alone. Because who else would know those things? Okay, but being alone, terrifying. No thanks, I'm out. Ta-ta, toodaloo, that's gonna be a no for me, dog. Yet, the benefits are convincing. Insight, calm, creativity, space to know thyself. And James Hollis, in that little book there, considers solitude the best medicine for what he calls the middle passage. So even if you eschew the term midlife crisis, there's no denying that things get really tough. Hollis writes, great losses often occur at midlife. Children move away, a friend dies, divorce devastates. The loss of that necessary other can be as existentially terrifying as the loss of the parent would be to the child. The adult feels not only angst, but a loss of identity, risking loneliness to achieve that sense of oneness with oneself, we call solitude, is essential if one is to survive the middle passage. So, solitude is deadly scary, yet crucial. So how do we get past the scary? Well, you're in luck. After reading everything we could get our hands on about solitude, we found that little thin Hollis book there, and it just lays out the 3 things you need to do to be able to tolerate the fear of being alone and then harness the benefits of juicy, juicy solitude. So here we go, all you need to do to finally change god-awful loneliness into generative, blissful solitude and be able to, with the ease of a seasoned monk, put down that doom scroll on your phone, which blocks you from knowing yourself through solitude, and turn off that true crime podcast, which blocks you from knowing yourself through solitude, and to even stop yourself from endless helping, fixing, and busy, doing, which blocks you from knowing yourself through solitude. Yes, to be able to do all this, it just takes 3 simple steps. And here they are. Number 1, sort out the trauma of abandonment. Number 2, be able to deal with loss, especially of the people and things that gave our lives meaning. And number 3, ritualize the fear of solitude. So we've got number 1, the abandonment, the feeling left, sadness about feeling left. Number 2, be able to deal with loss, especially things that used to give our lives meaning that we lost. And number 3, ritualize the fear of solitude. So, the steps are not so simple sounding. And we'll look at one of those tasks each of those 3 weeks. And today we're tackling that third one, ritualizing fear. Yay. So ritualizing fear, to make a ritual of fear. It sounds awful, honestly, but maybe you've done it before. Maybe you were scared to swim, or scared to share your feelings, or scared to do any public speaking, so you made a practice of it on purpose. So same thing here. So when I read this section, he's saying, yes, solitude does bring up fear, and we need to have a ritual of doing it, a routine with intention behind it, and knowing that it's special, that's a ritual. So time alone, planned, even though it will be scary. Because there is that risk. If I head off alone on a solo walk, what might I hear from myself? If I sit by the fire with no book in hand, what will I learn needs to change in my life? If I let myself finally feel anger, wouldn't I be overtaken by it and dangerous? And what about tears? If I let those come, I would likely cry forever. These are common worries. These are common worries, but you'll probably risk it anyway. Or when you do face down the middle passage, or your current major life transition, or when everything everywhere feels just like pure anxiety all the time, or when you've lost who you are completely because you've been managing someone else's crises, you might just decide it is worth a little scary to sort out how to get out of that rough patch. Plus, sure, don't believe the Buddha or all Buddhists or Jesus or Muhammad. Believe me. I can tell you that solitude's not so bad. The anger doesn't overtake you. You are not dangerous. The tears don't actually last forever. Feelings have actually been tracked to last just under a minute once you really actually let yourself feel them. They don't last more than a minute. And yes, you might learn some big insights about your life that mean you have to make some big changes. But you don't have to burn it all down, at least not at once. You can burn it down at your own pace. Plus, wouldn't you rather know your truth and be living that out? Being the real you, doing the good works that are aligned with the real you, might actually be the task of life. I've been practicing intentional solitude for many years now, and while it is still always a bit scary to go out, or maybe now sort of like charged and thrilling, it is always worth it. I come back from a solo happier, with more insight on my life and what makes me tick, and I'm refreshed. Once again, nice to be around for the people in my life. So, what might be your ritual of solitude? For the 40 days before Jovan was born, I did a solo daily tree climb to reflect on her arrival. Before little Fen was born, I did a 2-hour daily journaling at Bubble Tea. And right now I've been doing a weekly labyrinth walk. So how about you? Maybe making the coffee alone while the house sleeps, phone not yet out, or a weekly Sunday night bubble bath, or maybe a seasonal solo drive to the hot springs. I encourage you, if you wish to accept the dare, I dare you. Oh my gosh, I dare you. I double dog dare you. I triple dog dare you to try some solitude today, just 5 or 10 minutes. And it'll be nice to imagine all our church pals are doing the same thing today too, so we could be alone together. And we'd love to hear about it next week if you do it. Risking radical presence to oneself. Risking radical presence to oneself. Whether an overnight or a daily few minutes, solitude is worth the scary.
River running in you and me, Spirit of life, deep mystery, dancing down to the holy sea. River run deep, river run free. River laughed on my birthing day, wind and water joined in play, soaked my soul in a shining spray. River run deep, river run free. River cry my name to me, lend me hope and memory, sing me the story of the holy sea. River run deep, river run free. I stand on the edge looking down, too scared to swim, afraid I'll drown. I need the courage to journey on. River run deep, river run free. They don't have those two verses. River singing in me and you, Spirit of life, deep mystery, catch us upon in your melody. River run deep, river run free.
Before we join together in strengthening our intentions, I just want to acknowledge and thank Jude and Fergus for leading us on this journey today and for the next couple of weeks. It's certainly an opportunity and a challenge to take over a service and a journey for this amount of time that you have ahead of us. So thank you, and we look forward to the next steps. So I welcome you to join me in strengthening our intentions by speaking these words with me. These words are based on a prayer of Jesus by Bob Hetherington, adapted by Chris New in 2024. We open to the sacredness at the heart of all and to deep love and connection that unites us all. May we be faithful to the vision of building a better world, that there be daily bread to nourish all hunger, that we engage in the work of reconciling our past, forgiving ourselves and others, and experiencing healing in our pursuit of love and justice for all people. We commit to living examined lives that remain true to the values and principles that make for just decisions and healthy relationships. May we embrace the support of community in hard times, find the strength to meet each moment, and the wisdom to walk in the light of deep gratitude. For the light of love is with us, now and forever. May it be so. When we leave this place, we hope that the power of shared community and the wisdom we've shared will go with us. And as we change the light, we know that we have also been changed. May the light that shines within us be the strength and courage we need to bring that light to the world.
Hi, everyone. I just would like to invite everybody to stay afterwards. At 11:30, I will be giving a short presentation on the Global March to Gaza and my time in Cairo, where 4,000 of us from 80 different countries came together to protest the genocide in Gaza. So it'll just be a short presentation. There will be an opportunity to buy some of my husband's woodwork. There will be bowls for $25 or $50 or in different sections. So if you'd like to purchase one of those bowls, it will go directly to a family in Gaza that needs urgent support. And then after the presentation, we'll just have some music to share together in a peaceful protest and joining together and just enjoying some cello music and some singing. So I hope to see you there.